All right, so greetings, and welcome to Eureka Math Squared. This is grade 6, module 5, lesson 7. And this lesson is all about areas of trapezoids and other parallelograms. Well, we're going to hang out on pages 121 and 122 for this lesson. Okay, so trapezoids and other polygons, let's cruise on down as fast as we can to those pages. 121 and 122. Whoa, there we go. 121. Okay, so we're hanging on page 121. And here we have a trapezoid. Okay, so best way to tackle a trapezoid is to understand that, well, a trapezoid, if you take your imagination a little bit there and draw a segment from one end, right, vertex of the trapezoid to another vertex, you will create two individual triangles. So now it doesn't matter what opposite vertices you use. So if I erase that and I go from this guy to this guy, same thing happens, right? So so we cruise on that way. Like that, you will see two triangles formed. Here's one of the triangles that way. Oh my gosh, that was terrible drawing. Sorry. And if I change colors and go to, let's say, red, you will see then it's a little better. Here's the other triangle, right? There they are. Okay, so there are my two triangles. Okay, now all you have to do now is find the area of those triangles. Okay. Well, the good news is we're looking pretty good here because we have a right angle here. So I have a height, okay, and I have a base. Okay, remember the base and the height are always formed using that right angle. You're always looking for that perpendicular area there. Okay, now the only other thing here is that we have another base right here because this base is for this triangle here, right? And this base is for the big guy in here. Okay, so let's see, if I were to get really organized, I would call this triangle A, and I would call this triangle B. Okay, so I need 1/2 of the base times the height, right? Because that's the formula for area of a triangle. And I also need one over here, 1/2 the base times the height over here. Okay, now the base for this guy over here, right, is 3. There he is, 3. I'm going to put him in. And the height, well, they share the same height. It's 18. And on the other side is the big triangle, right? Triangle B, I guess. And same thing, there's my 1/2, and my base being 22, and my height being, once again, 18. All right, now all you have to do is to take care of the multiplication. So back on this side, I think I want to do 1/2 of 18 first. So 1/2 of 18 is 9. Don't forget this 3, right? So times that 3. So area equals 27 meters squared. So that's that guy. And on the other side, let me do, I don't know, let's do 1/2 of the 22, which means I get 11 times 18. Okay, so I have to do a little work over there. So how about right here? How about my 18 times 11? All right, there's an 8, there's a 1, and there's another 8, another 1. If I add those together, my 8, my 9, my 1. So I have 198 meters squared there. Okay, now for the total, right? So total area, right? Just add them up. So I have my 27, a little more room here, right? And my 198, okay? And that's a 15, that's a 12, and that's a 2, okay? So total area, 225 meters squared. There you have it, okay? And that's one way of doing it, but that's it seems to make the most sense, just splitting that trapezoid up into a couple of triangles. Find those areas. Now here, this is page 122, right? just a different kind of shape. So use your imagination a little bit. What do you want to do? Do you want to make a line right here and find rectangle A and area of rectangle B and add them up? Or maybe you want to split this guy. I see that if I go this way, right, maybe I have a rectangle A here and a rectangle B there. Or if you really get creative, you can say to yourself, hey, what if I make this whole thing, right, one big old rectangle, right? So I have rectangle A out here, which is the whole thing, okay? And then I subtract this guy, okay? Which means if he's 2 and he's 4, that means this guy is a square, right? Because 2 plus 2 gives me my 4. So he would be a square. So I would subtract him, okay? But my brain doesn't really work so well in the subtraction world on that. I mean, I see it, but for me, I think I'd rather add and just put this guy right here and give me a rectangle A and a rectangle B, okay? Still knowing from here to here is 2 feet, because that's important. I need that, right? So that means that's 2 feet there. And I also need this guy, okay? Which means if he's 2 feet and he's 3 feet, this guy has to be 1 foot, right? Because 1 plus 2 gives me that full 3. Okay, so since it's rectangles, it's length and width. And this guy here, I have a width there and a length there for the A. So all I have to do is write things out here. So let's see. So the area of this rectangle is length times width. And rectangle B is also length times width because they're rectangles, silly. All right, so A equals, let me set up some multiplication. Love the parentheses when I set up multiplication. Okay. And the big guy is 2 feet by 3 feet. So I'm just going to put that in. 2 times 3. Not so bad. So that's 6 feet squared right there. And the other guy, the little guy over here, he's a 2 foot by 1 foot. Right. So he's 2 times 1. So his area is 2 feet squared. Okay. And I just need that total. Okay. So total area. Total area. Okay. And the total area is going to be that 6 plus the 2, and that's going to give me 8 feet squared. So A equals, let me just put it like that, 8 feet squared for the entire shape. All right. So that's the deal, folks. When you come across some interesting shapes, just split it up into parts the best you can, and that usually works out pretty well for you. All right. So hope you enjoyed that, and remember, math rules. Take care. So long. Bye-bye.